All right, welcome back again. We think we have the Wi-Fi sorted out. Everything seems to be good on our end currently. Just a matter of getting everyone back here and getting everyone back into this stream. This is the continued stream of Game 41, and we apologize because we've missed 2 innings now, but in the process, not much has happened. There's only been 1 base hit and 1 base runner. That was for the Barons. The Blues have been sat down 1-2-3 in the first and second as there is no score, and we're entering the top of the third. The only base hit for the Barons, courtesy of Christian Webb, it was a single, and Mike Gutierrez, who's on the mound for the Blues, was able to set down and retire the next 2 men to strand the base runner. Again, we're in the top of the third. No score, Sidsheimer Park. Tell everyone to come on back here. This is our stream. This should be the one that's working the best. And here's Kemet Brown. Brown takes strike 1. Outside, ball 1. Gutierrez, his 3rd inning of work, has only dealt with the 1 base runner, has not struck anyone out so far, been inducing weak contact from the Barons' bats. His first start against the Barons. For Hurtado, their man on the mound, it's his 2nd against the Blues. That misses high for ball 2. Cordell Brown with the average at 214. Hometown of Sacramento. Swung on and missed. Count even at 2-2. Freshman at San Joaquin Delta College. Against the Blues this season, he's 1 for 6. He's only played in 2 of the previous 4 meetings. And is manning shortstop. Got him swinging. First strikeout for Gutierrez. Sets down Brown on 5 pitches. Again, if you're just joining us, apologies for the Wi-Fi issues. We think we've got them sorted out. We're in the top of the third. There is still no score as we welcome Ronnie Belton to the plate. This is the first at-bat for Belton. He takes ball 1 from Gutierrez. So that's the first strikeout for Gutierrez. There's 1 gone in the top of the third. There is no score. Blues have been sat down 1-2-3 again in the first and second innings. The bottom half of them. That is lined to Fenn at short. Takes a hop on him. Guns to first. Now there's 2 gone. Now Gutierrez has faced everyone in the Barons lineup. We'll work our way back to the top now, and here's Jordan Williams. Popped out to short in his first at-bat. Again, we're in the top of the third. There's been no scoring yet, and only 1 base hit from a Baron, and that was Christian Webb. Stay tuned for the bottom of the third. We'll have a special guest joining us on the live stream. Hopefully the Wi-Fi keeps up for us. And we apologize for the inconvenience of had to start the stream and stop it again and again, but we're good now. And Jordan Williams just took strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Gutierrez. Breaking ball misses high, ball 1. One ball and 1 strike, the count to Jordan Williams. Fouled off. It's the first souvenir, and the count is 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes, the count to Jordan Williams. We're in the top of the third. There's no one on and 2 outs for their leadoff hitter. Time quickly called, and we'll step back into the batter's box. Right-handed batter facing the lefty, Mike Gutierrez. Strike 3 called, and he got him looking. Again, stay tuned for the bottom of the third. We're hoping that this will be the stream the rest of the way. We'll have a special guest joining us in the home half of the third. There's no score at Sinsheimer Park. Blues bats will be up next and try to change that, try to get their first base runner against Andy Hurtado, who has looked sharp to start. It's his second start against the Blues, and he's pitching as if he's seen them before. Last time he did start against the Blues was here at Sinsheimer Park. He's familiar with the surrounding area. Bottom of the third coming up, still no score at Sinsheimer Park. We'll have a special guest joining us. Stay tuned for that. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Bottom of the third about to be underway. Bottom third of the Blues lineup coming to the plate. It's Trinka, Armstrong, and Costello. This is game 41, the fifth meeting between the Blues and Barons. And we're going to welcome in a special guest. We're going to welcome in the GM and the owner of the San Luis Obispo Blues. It's his third time joining us. It's Adam Stowe. Adam, thanks for coming on again. And can you believe we're already at game 41?
No. I sometimes it seems like it takes so long for the season to go by, and sometimes I blink and it's over.
Hurtado to the plate delivers ball one. First thing that kind of jumped out to me is something you actually said last night, which was we talked about how we're already at the end of the season, and you said you just start getting good at doing your job, and then the season ends. And that really rung true with me, as that's in there for a strike. The count is 1-1. It's unfortunate, but it also is just a good feeling to finally, get settled in the latter half of the season and just know that we're all doing the job to the best of our abilities. Mm-hmm. And with these big crowds, mm-hmm. They're benefiting as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when I said that, I really was referring to our staff. 27 games is just about enough to get them up and running at full speed. Dana and I are going full speed all year long, but it's nice to get them to the point where they can sort of take over on their own and we can just supervise. And right now they're doing a great job.
Really are. And it's been a great season. The Blues have been great. And as much as, our staff may have faced some adversity with big crowds and having to deal with all that commotion, as that swung on and missed, dropped third strike, and that's the first out. This team has faced some adversity this year, Adam. Mm-hmm. And, 6 games without several starters. They go 1-5 in that stretch, but it does not derail their season whatsoever. This team is still going to make the playoffs, and I think that says a lot.
Oh, I think it does too. And a wise man named Ted Lilly said earlier this season, Adam, we would be the first team in history to make it through a season without a hiccup if something like this didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I think he's right. It just depends on how big the hiccup happens to be.
Yes. That's ball one to now Mark Armstrong. This is one of the guys that, speaking of the quarantine, Mark Armstrong coming in, having to fill in at catcher. This is a guy who is from Cal Poly SLO, goes to school there. The bullpen catcher had started minimal games for them. He has to come in, and he's thrust into a role that he's unfamiliar with guys he's meeting right before they pitch. He's never called a game with them before. And Bob Miller, every time he told me about what this guy specifically was going to have to do, he just had a smile on his face. And he said, there's nothing funny about it, though. Had to come in, and obviously missing 2 catchers. It's like missing some quarterbacks out there.
Yep. I think Armstrong's done an amazing job. I'm so glad we got a chance to give him a chance.
Without question, count is 2-0 to him. There's 1 gone in the bottom of the third and still no score at Sinsheimer Park. GM and owner of the Blues, Adam Stowe, joining us. It's in there for a strike. So these final 2 games, Adam, we're going to do some ceremonies for the game, and I want you to talk about our host families and how much they do, obviously, we wouldn't have a season without them, and that is something that rings so true. So talk about the host families, what the process is like of finding them, and just how much they mean to the organization.
I'll get to that, and I'll try not to cut you off and take up too much of your time here. But I knew a question like this was coming, and I started thinking about all those groups that really impact our season and make it possible. And I can't point out one more than the others. I mean, the host families are amazing. Financially, the local business community, we wouldn't be here without them. We wouldn't be here without our amazing staff or my assistant GM, Dana Applegarth. I mean, there's just so many components, and one of them is the host families. And Mary Ann's done an amazing job over the past 10 years cultivating, because when we started, I think we had 8 consistent host families. And now we're to the point where some people are left wanting for a player every year.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing position to be in. And it lets us bring in kids from all over, like Arkansas, Illinois State. I mean, most of the teams in our league can't do that.
Yeah.
But we're able to because of her work and our host families.
It's definitely something that stood out to me right away was, we're thinking, okay, even, the majority of our staff, they're local kids from the area, go to school in the area. We're bringing in players, like you said, from Illinois, Arkansas, Texas, and it not only gives them exposure, but it gives them a chance to, even if they don't play for their teams as much as they'd like, to be in this atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And every opposing team that I talk to, they say, listen, as much as we might get beat by you guys, we love playing in front of these fans, maybe shutting them up for an inning or two if we score. Even the opponents love being in an atmosphere like this, and guys from out of state coming in, it's a great summer league environment.
Yeah, no, I want to do nothing more than give these kids a chance to develop and give them a great environment in which to do so. And I think we've done a pretty good job putting together a season in really, really weird times.
We have, and we apologize for the Wi-Fi issues, but we are back. Everything's good right now, and we're going to head to the top of the 4th. Still no score. Blues sat down 1-2-3 for the 3rd straight inning, and we are going to enter the top of the 4th. GM and owner Adam Stowe is joining us. We'll take a short break. Adam's going to stick with us. We'll have some more questions for him, and don't go anywhere. We are back. Top of the 4th about to be underway. Mike Gutierrez will pitch to Nicholas Marlborough. There's no score as we enter the top of the 4th. 5th meeting between the Blues and Barons, and GM and owner of the Blues, Adam Stowe, kind enough to join us. And Adam, next thing I want to ask you about is the next step of this season, and that's going up to Lincoln to go to the playoffs. Is there anything, obviously, we haven't been up there since the opening road trip of the season.
That's right.
Which was a crazy way to start this season. I just remember the first game, being on the bus. Not only am I meeting everyone, the players are meeting each other. And that was a fun thing to look back on, especially the way they've come together 41 games later. What can you tell us about the playoffs? What can we expect? And what are you most excited for to make the trip up there with the team?
Well, see, it's a lot of questions there. Actually, I think even though it was a strange way to start the season, it's sort of a perfectly complete circle. You go up there to start the season, you make it through the whole thing, you get back and you go and you finish the season there.
It's a great point.
And I think we pretty much took care of business last time we were there, and I'm hoping we do the same this time. We're excited to go up there. I think our team has played extremely well through some crazy times.
Yes.
And lots of different players, lots of different situations, coaches missing, players missing, and yet somehow we are still possibly in line to get the 3 seed, which would be amazing.
That's grounded foul. The count is 2-2 to Marlborough. It sure would. And this team, again, to achieve something like that, given this game stretch they go through that several starts, just speaks to how they overcome all that adversity. So we'll make a trip up there. We're excited to do so. How did the first ever CCL state playoffs come about? Was it owners coming together and saying, hey, we'd like to have a playoff format where we pick a facility? I understood it was between MLB Youth Academy and Lincoln in terms of the All-Star game and the playoffs being in one or the other, and it ended up being in Lincoln. I think that's a nice venue for it.
I do too. really beyond the playoffs, our league took the 2020 season to make some drastic improvements in many areas. One of them just happens to be the state playoff. But I mean, I'm sure everybody's familiar with Zoom meetings from this last year.
Yep.
We had millions of them, many committees, many different things changed. But we got a good playoff system in place, I think. I think it's extremely fair. 50% from the South, 50% from the North, sort of play-in game. And the reason really Lincoln was chosen as a facility is because the All-Star game or the prospect game is in the South. And we thought that would be fair to have then the state championship in the North.
Got it.
And that's a pretty good facility. They were anxious to do it. And to be honest with you, we've hosted the playoffs in the past, and they're a nightmare. I'm glad somebody else wanted to do them.
Oh, man. A nightmare, huh? Throw over to first. And he is out. Mike Gutierrez picks off Marlboro, and now there's one gone in the inning. I don't think you'd call our firework games nightmares, though, would you?
No, but if you have to put up with 3 games a day, none of which the Blues are playing in, and staffing them with concessions and beer and having 6 people in the stands, nightmare.
Okay, I hear you. James Williams to the plate now. No one on and one gone.
And you would be announcing 3 games in a row with no break. So there you go.
Break. Oh, man. No, that would be a grind. This season's been a grind for everyone, but I think what's been so fun about it is as the games go on, and what's going to make it hard for it to finally just, stop is you get into a rhythm and you get into a routine. And I want to ask you about when this season ends. What's your off season like, Adam? Once the season ends, I understood you're going to take a nice vacation after the season's over, but then you come right back to work. And so what's that off season like for Adam still?
It starts off with a nice 2 or 3 week break while Dana and I both get our sanity back.
Good.
And don't do a single thing for the Blues because we need some mental space.
Yes.
And then we come back and we start analyzing numbers and wrapping the season up and just making sure we're set for the next time we open up, and try to make some adjustments. And then we'll reanalyze our sponsorship packages in early September. And probably by the end of September, we'll be in full-blown sponsorship mode again, starting another cycle.
You bring up sponsors, and this is another thing I wanted to ask you about. Was there a moment in your time with the Blues, as that strike one, there's 2 gone in the top of the 4th, this is Jalen Williams now, where you were approached by a sponsor or someone at a company that wanted to be a sponsor, and you were completely thrown off by it in a good way? Maybe an organization or a company you weren't expecting to want to be part of the Blues, and they came at you and were just thrilled. That's a foul ball.
Foul ball.
Interesting.
Okay.
Down the right field line, TJ Clarkson unable to make the catch. It's a foul ball and strike 2. But was there a sponsor that came to you and you were shocked but also thrilled by it at one point?
No. Because I think everybody should want to sponsor the Blues. So I think anytime somebody wants to sponsor us, I think it's completely justified. No, what I am surprised by is a couple things. First of all, the number of sponsors that chose to roll over their sponsorships from the 2020 to 2021 season. Every business was hurting and people needed cash.
Yeah.
And 90% of our sponsors rolled over. And those that didn't were really large corporations that needed financial accounting and couldn't leave the cash with us. Second of all, I've been amazed by the number of people that have already come up to me and say, I'm ready to sign for next year right now. That kind of blows me away. And at least half of those are new people. Unfortunately, we're in the spot where I can say, I'd love to sign you, but I don't know what our prices are yet. So I think we're in good shape. 2019 was a good sponsorship year. 2020 was set to be amazing.
Yeah.
And 2021 was better than I could have hoped for.
I think that just has me excited for this organization. The fact that the future is so bright and is in there for ball 3. I guess the count's full now on Jalen Williams. He's 0 for 1 tonight.
Makeup call.
That foul ball call was curious. We've had some good times, Adam, this season with fun games here at home, specifically some close victories. That's lined out to left. That'll drop for a base hit, and Jalen Williams will be in there with a single. Second base hit for the Barons. Jalen Williams is aboard. Here's Christian Webb now, the man who got the first hit for the Barons in tonight's ball game. What was I going to ask you? So good games here at home. I think it's fun that we've had close victories, walk-off victories, not on the road, specifically for this crowd. And you gave me this little pamphlet here before the game started, and I was reading it. And, again, the message that resonated with me was something you communicated with me where no matter what happens in the game, you want the community to enjoy this experience, the game day operations. but how good is it to know that there have been exciting finishes for this crowd that, again, you'd prefer them to not know what happens in the game, but they're here, they have a good time, and there's close victories, and the Blues are winning.
Oh, sure. Anytime you have a special event, you want some emotions attached.
Yeah.
And if the last emotion they feel is overwhelming joy because Justin Trimble just hit a walk-off double to left center field with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, I'm okay with that.
Yes. I was too. That was a good birthday present.
That was a really good one.
0-1. That's
gone.
Killed out to left.
Didn't even move.
Yeah. That's a 2-run bomb. And that is Christian Webb's second hit of the game. It's a 2-0 Barons lead. After that one, it was smoked to left. 2-0 Barons. That's not because of you. I feel like every time we have a guest on, the opposing team scores a run or two.
Billy Bean, right here.
Oh, man. Well, they'll have to come back in this one. Mentioned earlier, the Barons are coming in here. They may be in last place in the South, but they want nothing more than to spoil this party.
And they've been playing some close games. They've been losing and winning 1-run games for the last week.
Yes.
To be fair, they're not playing poorly. And honestly, our guys are tired. You can see it in the way they hold their bats, the way they stand on the field. But for some reason, whenever we let the other team get a slight lead, our guys get motivated and come back. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Might wake them up a little bit.
Last time the Barons were here, they did lead 2-0 early. They scored 2 in the top of the first. You mentioned the margins of victory in the past 2 games against this team have been 7 runs. But the first time we won 11-4, the game was tied going into the 5th. Mm-hmm. And the most recent time we win 11-4 in Compton, it was a 1-run game going into the 6th. There's a 2-0 pitch that's taken high for ball 3. This is Julian Boyd. Now he hit a home run that made it a close ball game. Again, we're in the top of the 4th. It's 2-0 Barons, and there's 2 gone in the inning. Owner of the Blues, Adam Stowe, is joining us. I think it's going to be a good 2 games go against this team who they know they're not making the playoffs. They know they can't stop us from making the playoffs, but they still want to come in here and get a victory. That's in their first strike 1.
Well, I think the difference in the last games, they played us tough through the middle of the game. The difference is simply depth in the roster. I think we can outlast them a little bit. And so they hold us. They play us tight until the 5th or 6th, and then we tend to start pulling away a little bit. Let's hope we do the same again today.
That's ball 4. Boyd's going to take a walk. 3 straight Barons have reached. They've gone single 2-run homer. Now based on balls is the second walk allowed by Gutierrez. Again, it's 2-0 Barons. And now Noel Soto, who's DHing today, is going to come to the plate. I was talking to Bob about that, and he said we have some tired bodies, which is why he trots out the lineup that we do today. We put 3 guys in the outfield who have been kind of on a conveyor belt of maybe they're going to start, maybe they're not. They get all these 3 guys in our outfield get the start today. Ryan Cermak is moving from center to third. It's his first time he's played that position this year. So, and of course, Armstrong being in there, Fenn starting for Mercado. He's resting guys right now because he understands that you got to, first off, stay healthy and be rested for the playoffs.
Absolutely. I think what Bob Miller's doing is perfect for what we need. And if we happen to pull out these 2 games, great. If not, we have a very well-rested team ready to go.
Yes.
And take San Luis Obispo Blues baseball to the state title.
And the fact that you clinched last night means that, again, these games, as that's fouled off, it'll be a souvenir. That took a nice hop, and it lands right in the hands of a fan. 0-2 the count now to Noel Soto. It's 2-0 Barons. We're in the top of the 4th. To the count. Boyd at first. He worked a walk. And Gutierrez checks first. Now throws over. And he's got him again. Second pickoff of the inning. Both times after allowing the man to reach after a walk. Adam, I heard you're going to sub out now and Dana's going to sub in. Is that what's going to happen now?
That is correct.
Okay.
Dana's going to wow you for the next inning or 2.
Well, Adam, while I have you and before you go, just one more time on the air, I just want to say thank you. This has been a really memorable summer, and I just wanted to say I really appreciate you taking a chance on a kid that does not live anywhere close to here, goes to school in Indiana. I just really appreciate it. It's been an absolute thrill.
Zach, it's been my pleasure. But really, I can't take the credit for that. Dana's responsible for our staffing.
I've got some.
And she's
some
the one that brought you on board. So The next guest here is the one you really owe thanks to. But
yeah.
it's been wonderful having you on board. You've been no headache whatsoever, which is the only thing that I can ask for. And you've done an amazing job. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with you up in Lincoln and chatting a little more. But I will turn you over to Dana.
You got it, Adam. I'll catch you. Thank you so much to Adam Stowe for joining us for an inning. We're going to head to the bottom of the fourth now. It is 2-0 Barons. We'll step aside momentarily. Fourth inning of work for Andy Hurtado coming right away. 2-0 Barons. We're going to take a short break. Thank you so much for making Blues baseball part of your Saturday afternoon. We'll be right back. Short break as always. Bottom of the fourth underway. It's 2-0 Barons. We're back to the top of the Blues lineup. Now it goes Fenn, Kretschmar, and Cermak. And now we've got Dana Applegarth joining us, assistant GM of the St. Louis Obispo Blues. Dana, thank you for joining us again. If you have to take a walkie call and you've got to sub out, it's totally fine. Just want to let you know.
No, everyone will hear it. The audience will hear the call. Dana to marketing.
Yes.
Marketing to Dana.
Exactly. So I asked Adam this question. I'll ask you it now because I'm genuinely curious about it. When this season ends, hopefully you get your time off. Hopefully, as that is hit to second, takes one hop, gunning to first, and that's the first out. It's a 4-3 ground up for Ryan Fenn. But what is Dana's off season like in the role that you're in now? What is your essentially fall and months leading up to next summer look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of it is starting to find interns. It's a long process.
Yeah.
And more often, or in seasons past, we actually have interns start in January and February rather than this year we had them start in April.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a little different. And then I will be working on merch and stuff like that. So, and then once players start getting signed, I'll be working on contracts and payments and.
Oh, you handle that?
I do.
Wow.
That is my job. That's a big part of my job.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's really fun to round up.
Uh-huh.
As you can imagine, contacting 35 college kids getting contracts and money.
Yes.
But, yeah.
That's good. Definitely hope you get some time off. Definitely deserve it. It's been a crazy year. I always love to give you a shout out when we talked about any one of our guys that stepped to the plate and they were a CCL All-Star, they played in that showcase game. Always have to mention that you coordinated that whole thing for a year. And so I want to ask you about that night one last time, because during the game itself, what are you doing while it's going on, while it's being televised and all of us are watching on Bally Sports West? What were you running around and doing as the game was going on?
I didn't know what to do with myself. It's not here where, we have promotions, checking on, groups, all that stuff. I just wandered, made sure people were doing all right.
Okay, good.
But yeah, at that point, everything was handled and the show was going. So I just wandered.
And it went well. It went well. So that's why we give you all the credit. 3 balls and 1 strike is the count now to Kretschmar. He's 0 for 1. There's 1 gone in the bottom of the fourth. It is 2-0 Barons. Here's the pitch from Hurtado. That's high, ball 4. Kretschmar works a walk. So no plans for a vacation yet.
I actually am going back to the East Coast to visit some friends.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I was hoping for it.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
Where specifically on the East Coast?
We'll be going into Boston and down into Jersey, into Philly and Rhode Island. A little East Coast tour.
Terrific.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 1 gone now. Kretschmar just worked the walk. Here's Ryan Cermak, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Hurtado will check on him at first. So when you're filling in positions or you're looking for positions to fill with interns, what is the first position you usually like to fill and get out of the way? The first position you start to look for?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't go one by one? All right.
I mean, there's definitely a smaller applicant pool for some of the positions that are a little more specific and have a little more job requirements. And this might look like the Kid Zone director, so someone who is CPR certified, has experience with kids, which we did not have this year. But yeah, so little things like that where it's would be convenient. but not necessary.
Cermak just got under that one. Just missed it. Indeed. 1 ball and 1 strike to count now to Ryan Cermak. So already talked about your offseason. Now if we look forward to next season, what are some, if you could tell us, if you know, some changes that are going to, maybe stuff that's coming back from the 2019 season? So is the Kid Zone coming back? What are certain things that we didn't have this year that we might have? As that one sent out to left and drifting just foul. Yeah, foul ball. Cermak almost homered twice. What's something that is going to come back from 2019 maybe to the next season, if you could tell us?
No, absolutely. So we will have Kid Zone back. I'm assuming it will look similar to what it's been in the past. As far as things that will be new, is we were hoping to do them this year and actually did not, but we will be having cabanas that people can come day of and reserve for themselves. So
double play ball to short. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
It's a 6-4-3 double play.
Oh.
And that ends the inning.
Okay.
We're through 4. It's 2-0 Barons. Top of the 5th coming up. Ryan Cermak grounded into a double play to end the inning. Assistant GM Dana Applegarth is joining us. 2 special guests in the span of 5 minutes. We're lucky, and we hope you're sticking around on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. Dana and I will be right back. Top of the 5th underway with strike 1. It's Noel Soto and Mike Gutierrez. Noel Soto was in the middle of his second at-bat when Julian Boyd was picked off at first. We're in the top of the 5th. There's no one on and no one out. That one is sent out and ranging into foul ground. It'll drop for strike 2. It's 2-0 Barons as we enter the top of the 5th, and this one's flying by. We welcome back Dana Applegarth joining us, assistant GM of the Blues here on the Blue Streaming Network. So, Dana, we just saw the Dizzy Bat race. And so just kind of a lighthearted question. What is your favorite thing we do in between innings, the promotional things that take place on the field? Because it's another thing that really separates the Blues from other teams in the CCL, as that one is grounded past Cermak at third. It's a fair ball. And extra base is coming for Noel Soto, who rounds first and will be into second with a stand-up double. What's your favorite promotional activity that takes place in between innings?
That's a great question. And they're all just so fun. Although kids or the Footloose Frenzy terrifies me.
Last night, that was a lot of children.
Seeing all the kids out there. And you get the mini ones that are just like, don't know what to do with themselves. And they're just there to watch and have a good time.
Exactly. No, Footloose Frenzy is definitely every opposing team's intern, broadcaster. I mean, they stop everything they're doing and they're like, "What exactly is going on out there?" And you hear the song Footloose. It's a frenzy.
Yeah. Obviously.
Absolute madness. My answer would probably be anytime the interns get to do any of them, Dizzy Bat Race, because I'll stay live for them. Especially, we had like Evan and Grant do them on their birthdays. That was fun.
Best.
That was really fun.
That was so good.
Yeah. 1 ball and no strikes to Cordell Brown. Gutierrez steps off. Noel Soto just doubled and scoring in the top of the 5th. It's 2-0 Blues. Are you going to make the trip up to Lincoln for the playoffs, or are you going to stay put here?
I am actually.
Okay.
I will be there. I don't know if I'll be there for the whole thing, but I will be there Wednesday and most likely Thursday.
Okay.
Depending on how that goes.
Terrific. Definitely hoping to be there for all 3 days.
Yes.
And obviously have the Blues make some history. And that would just be fantastic. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Cordell Brown. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 2. Have you ever been a part of a team, whether you were a player or had anything to do with the team, that ended up winning some form of championship?
I have. And, that's why you play the sport.
Yeah.
You love the experience, you love the team. And at that point, you've gone through so much, and that'd just be the cherry on top,
What team was it? Was it in high school or?
I played on a couple club teams, so there, you have some rivals, and it's always just that sweet victory of, we got them this time. Maybe they'll get us next year.
What sport was it?
Soccer.
Oh, soccer. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Much better with my feet than I am with anything else.
Yeah. It's funny. So my brother, he played lacrosse in high school, and he was a very talented player. Never ended up winning a state championship, so he never got a ring. And I remember my senior year of high school, my high school basketball team, we won the California State Championship, and being the voice of the team, the coach was like, "Listen, we'd love for you to have a ring." And I would tote that thing around my brother and just say, "I didn't even play, and I still got a ring."
Right.
My favorite part was they're like, everyone had their jersey number on the ring, and they're like, "What are they going to put for you?" And I was like, "Could they do like a coat and tie emoji, like instead of a jersey number?" And they're like, "Well, we can't do that." And so I just had to put double zeros. But
hey, good enough. Did you tell them that you earned that ring?
I sure
You worked hard for that
sure
ring.
Did.
Yeah.
To which they responded, "You didn't even travel with the team."
That's just the detail.
Exactly. No context needed.
Exactly.
Nothing in 1 the count. Fouled off, and now it's 0-2. This is Ronnie Belton batting with Noel Soto at second. It's 2-0 Barons. We're in the top of the 5th. So we had, and he's been kind enough to join me about 3 times now, and I can tell that he's as much as he might hover, he's very hands-on and is very aware of what's going on. What's one thing that coming into this specific role for you, being assistant GM, that he kind of taught you, and something that you've used throughout this season? Maybe it's with how to handle certain situations, how to prepare yourself for certain situations, but what has Adam kind of passed on to you in your role? Any advice?
No, there have been so much. I'm trying to find the right one.
Sure,
I will say as like a blanket until I think of a better example is he's given me all the tools to be confident in my position and be confident in the decisions that I make. So when I do come across something that's new, he said, "Hey, whatever you decide, I'll back you up. We'll figure it out and we can evaluate and go from there." But as far as something tangible, detail-wise, it's just, I think he's really opened my eyes to just how intentional he is about sponsorships. That's something I really haven't been experienced to. And so just the way he works with all of our sponsors and sets everything up for them, he's just very, very intentional about everything he does. And, half of it would have just gone over my head if you don't think about it or see it or say it, So love that.
It's been fun working for you guys. It really has. That's strike 1 now. Back to the top of the Barons order. It's Jordan Williams batting with Noel Soto still on second. And that's not a surprise to me, the fact that he's helped that much. I mean, I can tell that he cares. I can tell that he does. And that's flown out to center. And who's going to have that one? It'll be in shallow center, and it'll be caught by Nick Costello. That does it for the top of the fifth. Mike Gutierrez works around a leadoff double that was given up to Noel Soto. So I started doing this with Adam. I was told I didn't need to thank him, but I still did. So I just wanted to take the time, Dana, and say thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for taking a chance on a kid that lives nowhere near here, goes to school thousands of miles away, and has a really interesting resume. I definitely fill that thing out, and I'm like, knife salesman, broadcaster. What are they going to think of this? I just really wanted to say thank you. It's been the best summer of my life.
No, you are welcome, and you earned this position. And even though your resume was a little, all over the place, whose isn't? And plus, you sent over all your videos, your recordings, and that showed us what we needed. So you did a wonderful job, and I appreciate everything you've done with this position.
Thank you, Dana.
And you deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Top of the fifth is over. Bottom of the fifth coming up. It's still 2-0 Barons. Andy Hurtado still out there. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you. Thank you. Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
Bottom of the fifth coming up. It's 2-0 Barons. We want to welcome you back into the Blue Streaming Network. I'm Zach Ebrahim. Game 41 of the Blues season. We're in the bottom of the fifth, and they trail 2-0 to the MLB Academy Barons. And newly inserted left-hander, it's no longer Andy Hurtado. He got through 4 and pitched scoreless innings in all of them. He did not give up a hit, only allowed one man to walk, and that was Austin Kretschmar. He pitched around that, and now it's Nicholas Martinez out of the pen, trying to secure a victory for the Barons. He is arguably their best reliever. Martinez with the numbers, 2-0, and 2 victories to his credit. Sub-1 ERA, 0.65. In his 9th appearance, he has started once. He's gotten through 13 2/3 innings pitched. We saw Martinez back on July 25th. He pitched an inning against the Blues. It was a scoreless and hitless one, and he struck one man out, and he stands in to face TJ Clarkson. Took strike 1, and here's the 0-1 pitch. That misses outside for ball 1 as the count evens. So the Blues, who trailed 2-0 on a absolute scorching shot, a 2-run homer by Christian Webb that has them with the 2-0 lead. Here's a 1-1 pitch to TJ Clarkson. Fouled back, and it's 1-2. Webb was hitless in the previous 2 starts against the Blues. Tonight, he's 2 for 2 with a single and a 2-run homer, and he's the reason the Barons have their 2-0 lead. Want to just take another moment to apologize for the Wi-Fi issues taking place. I know we've kind of been all over the place with this one. That one misses high for ball 2. We've gotten it sorted out. We've gotten our interviews in, and it's been a good one so far. Game 41, Blues are going to have to come back in this one. They do not have a hit. They are being held hitless through 4 so far. We're in the bottom of the 5th, and TJ Clarkson is leading things off against Nicholas Martinez. That's flown out to right. That one's carrying, but it will not threaten to leave as Ronnie Belton is under it for the first out. Making the play and making the catch. TJ Clarkson now 0 for 2. Now we welcome Vince Martinez to the plate.
At the plate now for the Blues, the designated hitter from Stanford University, number 4, Vince Martinez.
Well, again, Blues have clinched a playoff spot. All that's left is to see where the team is seated, depending on whether they win or lose these final games and give the best fans in the CCL an absolute show. They're trying to do so here, but Martinez grounds out to Brown, Now there's 2 gone. 6-3 on the ground out. Trying to give, again, I'll say it again, the best fans in the CCL an absolute show to wrap up what has been one of the greatest seasons in the history of the Blues. Here's Justin Trimble. No one on and 2 outs.
Number 28, UC Santa Barbara, Justin Trimble.
Trimble takes ball 1. Blues being shut out and held hitless through 5. The Blues have had 8 innings in which they've scored 2 or more runs against the Barons. As I say that, that's flared out to left center, and it drops for a base hit, the first for the Blues, and it's a single for Trimble to get the hitting started. Trying to ignite a 2-out rally. Here's Thomas Trinka. So coming into this one, it's the first time we've ever seen this lineup. We have to remember that, and I understand that we were dealing with the Wi-Fi issues early. I did not get to articulate this lineup, but Ryan Fenn leads things off, and he's playing shortstop. We've seen that before. Kretschmar batting second and playing second base. We've seen that, of course. Ryan Cermak batting third. Of course. What's new? But he's playing third base. TJ Clarkson, first base. Vince Martinez DHing. And the man who just hit one to short, they didn't need to. Yeah, they just needed the force out at second. Thomas Trinka, who's in left field tonight, just grounded out to short. That's the end of the bottom of the 5th, and Justin Trimble got a single, so the Blues have gotten their hit, but they still are without a run. It's 2-0 Barons as we are quickly heading into the top of the 6th. This one is absolutely flying by. Couldn't be happier to have you along with us on the Blue Streaming Network, making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. It's game 41. After this one more game tomorrow, Sunday afternoon against this same Barons team. Oh, it's the bottom of the 5th. See, I don't even know what inning it is. I have a tennis ball in my hand, and I'm going to try and throw it at that white bucket behind home plate. My throws have not been close. If you were with me last night, I threw 2. Neither was close. See if I can get 1 done. Thanks for hanging out on the Blue Streaming Network. I'll be right back. Day done for Mike Gutierrez. And now Vaughn Moderer stands in, making his appearance out of the pen, pitching in the top of the sixth in a 2-0 ball game in which the Barons lead. So Vaughn comes in. It's his 8th appearance overall. He's come out of the pen half the time, and the other half he has started, dealing to Nicholas Malbrough. That's fouled off. It's 0-1. Moderer with the 3-1 record, 6.53 ERA in 20 2/3 innings pitched. His last time out, we saw him against the Barons. He actually picked up a win in pitching 3 full innings, giving up 2 earned runs on 4 hits. Picking up a victory back on the 23rd, delivers ball 1 to Malbrough, and it's 1-1. 2-0 Barons our score. Again, we're in the top of the 6th. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Game 41, game 5 between the Blues and Barons. Breaking ball missing for ball 2. Malbrough has grounded out to third and walked. He's leading off the top of the 6th with his team leading 2-0, looking to play spoiler here at Sinsheimer Park. Here's 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike in the count, even at 2-2. Barons have played the Blues hard the entire season. The final margin of victory does not tell the full story of the ball game. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're witnessing that here tonight. Popped up and drifting out of play. It'll be a souvenir for a fan. Martinez only gave up the 2 runs. He only gave up 3 hits, 2 singles, a bloop and a blast is what's done the damage. A single by Williams and then a 2-run homer by Webb. He also walked 2. Gave up a double, but Moderer in now. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back, and it's still 2-2. Still no one on and no one out in the top of the 6th in a 2-0 ball game with the Barons in front. Blues are 12-11 in the month of July, and that featured the 6-game stretch without several starters. They went 1-5 in those games. That's fouled off again, and it's still 2-2, but they are still going to make the playoffs. Barons have been eliminated from playoff contention. They are in last place in the South, but it does not stop them from playing teams extremely hard. Their last win against the Oaks, they walked them off in the bottom of the 9th. Fouled off again, and this has become a battle between Malbrough and Moderer. You can argue that's a win that derailed the Oaks season, as they'll play the Riptide tonight, and they're playing for their playoff lives. It is still a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Malbrough. This is the first man Moderer has faced out of the pen. Missing with ball 3, and now the count's been worked full. Barons have had impressive at-bats. For the Blues, they've worked 1 walk and gotten 1 single. The at-bats have been a little quicker, a little faster. First pitch swinging, 3-2 pitch. Got him swinging. 1 gone in the top of the 6th for James Williams. James Williams stands in. He's been serviceable against the Blues this season. 3 for 8 with a couple RBIs, worked the walk. He's been getting on base for him. Stands in with no one on and 1 out in the top of the 6th. Strike 1. Williams with the average at 286, sophomore at Santa Ana College, and his hometown is Huntington Beach. A 1 pitch. Way inside and getting away for ball 1. He's been on a tear. He's had 3 straight multi-hit games. He's driven in 3 runs in the last 3 games, all of which have been losses for the Barons. But in the last 3 games that James Williams has played in, he's gotten 2 hits, and even a 3-hit game that came against the Blues, featuring a double and 2 runs driven in as he takes strike 2. Fans chant for hot sauce. One-two pitch. Grounded to Clarkson at first. Eats him up a bit. Now tosses to Moderer, who covers the bag, and there's 2 gone. Here's Jalen Williams. Singled and came around to score on Christian Webb's 2-run homer that followed. Jalen Williams standing in. He does not. That hit that he got was the first against the Blues this entire season as well. So Jalen Williams 1 for 2 on the day, and Christian Webb 2 for 2. Both these men have gotten their first hits against the Blues in this game, and 0-2 is quickly the count. 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. It's a 1-2-3 scoreless inning of relief pitched by Vaughn Moderer in the top of the 6th, keeping it at just a 2-0 deficit for the San Luis Obispo Blues that have just 1 hit and have worked 1 walk. They've had 2 base runners, and it'll be the bottom of this lineup, Armstrong, Costello, and then back to the top in Ryan Fenn in the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-0 Barons. Man, this game's going by quick, as the season has. We're already in game 41. Time flies when you're having fun, and that's all this summer has been. And the Barons have deployed one of their better relievers, Nicholas Martinez, to try and protect this 2-0 lead. We'll see if he's able to do so. Bottom of the 6th coming up. I'm going to take a short break. Thanks so much for making Blues baseball part of your Saturday afternoon. I'm Zach Ebrahim, and I'll be right back. Here's Mark Armstrong, already 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the game today. Facing Martinez for the first time, and the pitch. Popped up, and the infield will have a look. It's Brown calling for it and making the catch with his toes on the shallow grass of left field. One gone quickly for Nick Costello. Costello grounded out to first. His first time up. He's 0 for 1. Martinez to the plate with strike 1. Another good crowd on hand. Love these afternoon games. These are my favorite start times. 4 p.m. Game's been flying by. We're in the 6th, and it's 5:30. Breaking ball missing for ball 1 as the count evens on Costello. Getting the start in center field for the first time this season. He has started in all 3 outfield positions. Left, center, and right. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball that's in there for a strike this time, and it's 1-2. Martinez, the pitch. Missing in the dirt as the count evens at 2-2. Costello standing in. University of California, San Diego. Part of a revolving door out usually in right field. finds himself in center. We mentioned he's played left as well. Getting the start as Bob Miller deploys guys that have not been everyday starters as he rests, namely Mason Grotto, Tate Samuelson, Austin Shell, giving some guys some breaks. As we head into the stretch run, we've got a game today and tomorrow afternoon, and then we head up to Lincoln on Tuesday. 2-2 pitch. Just made contact with that one and fouled it off to stay alive and see another 2-2. Blues have had so many great moments here at home in front of these fans. Trying to give them another one in game 41. They'll have to come back from a 2-0 deficit. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Check the swing, and did he go around? No, he took ball 3, and the count is full. So can they do it again? Come back so many times this season. We had the owner of the Blues, Adam Stowe, on talking about how there's a payoff pitch. Strike 3 called, and he got him. Well, he rung him up, and that's out number 2. Here's Ryan Fenn, who's 0 for 2. Fenn's been great this season. Really, when you start Ryan Fenn at any defensive position, you're going to get his best stuff. And then we saw him lead off a lot early this season. He's leading off and playing shortstop. He'll ground this one to James Williams. And that's the inning.
The group is so small that I can...
It's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th, pitched by Nicholas Martinez, keeping the Blues scoreless, keeping them off the base paths. And it's part of the reason that this thing is absolutely flying by. The Blues only have 2 base runners, 1 hit, 1 walk, and they trailed 2-0 to the MLB Academy Barons. It's game 41 here on the Blues Streaming Network. I'm going to take a short break, and I'll be right back with you. Thanks for hanging out. We're back, top of the 7th underway. Vaughn Moderer still pitching in relief of Mike Gutierrez, who came out and was rock solid again. Barons got to him a bit with some weak contact, and then the one hard hit ball left the stadium. That's why they lead 2-0. Gutierrez coming off of a start in which he only gave up 1 earned run. This one he'll give up 2. And it's up to Moderer to keep it at that. Here's Christian Webb. He's the reason this is a 2-0 game right now. Webb 2 for 2 with a single and a 2-run bomb. Moderer deals him strike 1. Webb, like Jalen Williams, had come into this game without a hit against the Blues this season. Comes in and does damage right away. A 1 pitch. Swung on and missed as he went for another one, and it's 0-2. Base is empty for him, and no one out. It's 2-0 Barons in the top of the 7th. Blues are second in the CCL South. If they are to win out, as that one is grounded to Clarkson at first, routine play, as he'll take it to the bag unassisted. And it's the first time that Webb has been retired. If they win out, they have a chance to earn the number 3 overall seed in the entire CCL playoffs. So that means that currently the Healdsburg Prune Packers, okay, they're the 1 seed, not only in the North, but in the entire CCL. The 2 seed is Arroyo Seco, the 1 seed in the South. If the Blues win out, the Lincoln Potters would move from the overall 3 seed to the 4 seed. Blues would move into that 3 seed. What does that get them? Better start times, some evening starts, a 7 p.m. first pitch where the crowd will be on hand and it'll be a big crowd, and it's the prime time game. So if the Blues want to play in prime time, they can win out and do so. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count to now Julian Boyd. Just something to think about. Inside ball 2. Coming into this one, the Barons had hit 10 home runs this season. Webb just hit their 11th. They hit their 9th against the Blues last time we were in Compton. Fouled off, and the count evens at 2-2. 1 gone in the top of the 7th. It's 2-0 Barons. Two balls and 2 strikes. Missing in the dirt ball 3 as the count is worked full. For Boyd, he hit his 3rd home run of the season against the Blues. Payoff pitch misses for ball 4. And Boyd has worked his 2nd walk. And with the 2 walks in this one, Boyd has now taken first base on balls 8 times this season. That home run for Christian Webb was his 1st this season. Here's Noel Soto. We've seen Soto pitch against the Blues. Stands into DH and bat now. I'm looking at point streak for some statistics, and I cannot get a batting average on Noel Soto. Throw over to first. Checks on Julian Boyd. The Barons have been picked off twice at first base, both by the lefty Mike Gutierrez, who has a wicked pickoff move, and we've seen that from him not only in this game, but multiple times this season. As that one is grounded to Cermak at 3rd. He gloves, he throws to 2nd, now on to 1st. It's a double play. And the inning is over. 5-4 to 3. Cermak to Kretschmar to Clarkson. And Ryan Cermak, who's getting that first start at 3rd, has looked rock solid. The 5-tool, usually center fielder, hitting the hot corner and igniting a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. We will head to the bottom of the 7th with the lead still 2-0 for the Barons. Can the Blues strike? Can they string hits and base runners? We'll have to wait and see. Austin Kretschmar will be due up. In the meantime, it's time to stretch here at Sinsheimer Park. I'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome back. Bottom of the 7th underway. And here's Austin Kretschmar to face newly inserted right-hander Dennis Stevenson. Sophomore at Long Beach City College, excuse me. hometown of Bellflower, California, 5'10" right-hander. ERA of 5.87. This is his 6th appearance overall, his 2nd against the Blues. Kretschmar pops one up in the infield. We'll have a look. It's James Williams calling for it in foul ground and making the catch. There's one gone. This is what we've been seeing is the Blues only have – Kretschmar was one of the only Blues. He was the first Blue to reach. He took a walk. But these at-bats have been quick and painless, and that's a one pitch out. Here's Cermak. And if they're going to ignite any sort of rally, any sort of run, it's going to have to be with these heavy hitters, 3, 4, and 5, Cermak, Clarkson, and Martinez, if one of them is to reach, as Cermak takes strike 1. Stevenson, his last time out against the Blues back on the 25th. 2 full innings, and they got to him. 4 earned runs on 5 hits. We'll see if that trend continues. Cermak is now 0 for 2 as he fouls off the second pitch. Cermak is 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out and grounded into a double play. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball is swung on and missed through for strike 3, and it's a 3-pitch strikeout to Ryan Cermak. Stevenson has come in, thrown 4 pitches, and gotten 2 outs. Here's TJ Clarkson. Blues are 5-5 in their last 10, but their 2 victories that they're coming off of were their biggest of the season, games they had to win. They beat the Saints, the 1 seed in the South. That gives them confidence if they're able to see them in the playoffs. That game could have been a lot more lopsided. The Blues had the bases loaded in 3 of 4 innings against the Saints and were only able to plate a couple runs. Came away with the victory nonetheless because of the best outings from Heston Toll and Miller Plyman. Clarkson lines one into center field. It's a base hit. TJ will hold it first with a single. It's the 2nd hit for the Blues today. Important to note that in that game against the Saints, you saw Heston Toll and Miller Plyman for the last time. 2 pitchers from Arkansas who came to slow together had to leave. And so you're missing your second best starter. You're missing your best reliever. And guys not only have to fill in new roles in that bullpen, but the offense will have to step up since you're missing 2 key arms that have led you to victories all season. Here's Vince Martinez to stand in with Clarkson at first and 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. It's 2-0 Barons. That's strike 1. Martinez 0 for 2. Facing Stevenson. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Martinez, in his 2 appearances against the Barons, is 2 for 10 with 4 RBIs. Got the majority of them in that victory back on the 25th. Got some of those off of Dennis Stevenson. Stevenson, who is positioned interestingly on the mound. His right heel is on the rubber, missing with the breaking ball. So he doesn't toe the rubber per se. He keeps his right heel on it as he's slightly positioned to the left. Righty on righty as he faces Martinez. 1-2 the count, 2 gone, bottom 7. Clarkson safe at first. Here's the pitch. Popped up and out of play. It's a souvenir. So Clarkson, who's been an on-base machine the entire season, gets his 4th hit against the Barons this season, and now the Blues bring the tying run to the plate. Again, it's only 2-0 MLB Academy in the form of the power hitting Vince Martinez. One ball and 2 strikes. Clarkson's taking off for second, and Martinez swung and missed through strike 3. It's a second straight quick inning of work. Actually, all the innings have been quick. The Blues have been sat down 1, 2, 3 in 4 of 7 innings. And in the innings where they've reached and gotten a man on base in the bottom of the 4th, worked a walk, ground into a double play. In the bottom of the 5th, the single turns into nothing, and then a single by Clarkson there. He's left stranded trying to steal. We'll head to the top of the 8th. It's 2-0 Barons. And it's time for Footloose Frenzy. It's game 41 of the Blues' 75th anniversary season. And we couldn't be happier to have you along with us and make us a part of your Saturday afternoon. Can't believe it's almost over. Going to take a short break and be right back with you. Thanks for hanging out, as always. Welcome back. Top of the 8th underway. It's Cordell Brown to lead things off for the Barons, who lead 2-0, and Von Moderer still out there pitching his third inning of relief of Mike Gutierrez. Only gave up 2 earned runs. A bunt laid down, and it's foul. Count 0-1. Brown, who we've seen at short in a number of matchups, 1 for 6, has driven in a run coming into today's matchup with the Blues. For both these teams, it's games 41 and 42. The season will end. The regular season will end on Sunday. Off day Monday, and the teams lucky enough and fortunate enough to make the playoffs will make that trip up, as that misses for ball 1 and the count evens. Blues have won their last 2 games in different ways. They took the lead early and could have blown out Arroyo Seco if they took advantage of their bases loaded situations. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2. And they trailed early against Conejo, but rallied against the bullpen. That'll have to happen tonight against the Barons. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moderer steps off as time is called. One and two. Flared out to left, drifting and landing in fair territory. And it's a base hit and a single for Cordell Brown. Leadoff man aboard. Brown safe at first. Here's Ronnie Belton. Belton 1 for 6 coming into today in his 2 starts previous against the Blues. Today he's 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and a strikeout. Fouled off, and it's 0-1. So Moderer, a starter turned reliever, is going to be eating up some bullpen innings here. Expect him to finish the game unless things get ugly, but Moderer really set to go the whole way as Bob Miller is deploying certain bullpen arms that can eat up innings and rest his guys for the playoffs. Curveball falls out of his hand, and it's 0-2. Brown still safe at first, and Belton to the plate for the 3rd time. Moderer throws over to first. We've already seen 2 pickoffs of Barons at first base. 0-2 the count to Ronnie Belton. Belton with the average at 197. Brown's taking off for second. Throw in from Armstrong. Takes a hop. Does not get it in there in time. And it's a stolen base for Cordell Brown. He's now in scoring position with no one out. For Brown, it's his 10th stolen base. He's second on the team in that category to Jordan Williams. Leadoff hitter who's 0 for 3 tonight. Belton at the plate as the Barons threaten here with nobody out. It's 2-0 MLB Academy. Moderer to the plate. Grounded to Cermak. It's a fair ball at third. And look at that throw over to first. It hits TJ and gets away. And that is going to lead to runners on first and third with nobody out. Cermak stopped the ball from going into left field. Made the throw, but it was errant. And Ronnie Belton is aboard. And an error on Ryan Cermak. It's his first start at third base. We're going to rule that an E5 on the throw from third. It's now runners at the corners for Jordan Williams with nobody out in the top of the 8th. Lays down a bunt. Cermak and Moderer collide with each other. No one can field it, and Brown scores. It's 3-0 Barons. And Williams is safe at first. RBI infield single for Jordan Williams, and there's men on first and second with still nobody out, and here's Nicholas Malbrough. For Jordan Williams, that is RBI. Let's see here. Number 9. Moderer steps off. Still no one out for Malbrough. It's 3-0 Barons, and Moderer dealing with some traffic here. Laying down a bunt. Armstrong digs it out, gunning to first. In time to get the out, and in the process, both runners advance 90 feet. Now they're both in scoring position at second and third, but there's one out. And here's James Williams, who is now the only Baron who has not reached. He's 0 for 3. And he's coming in. He's their hottest hitter. 3 straight multi-hit games, 0 for 3 today. Moderer dealing with traffic. Infield packed in as there's only one out in the top of the 8th. And the Barons will be looking to score that runner from third on some contact. A second out would be huge with no one moving. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 1. That's what you're hunting for right now, the swing and miss and a strikeout. That would give you 2 outs. And then the only way they'd score would be on a base hit. It's 3-0 Barons. Oh, 1. Inside, and strike 2 is called. Nothing in 2 the count to James Williams. Left-handed batter faces the right-hander out of Cal Berkeley, Vaughn Moderer. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off. He'll stay alive to see another pitch, protecting the plate. It's Belton at third and Williams at second. Nothing in 2 the count. Moderer to the plate. Fouled off again. And there will be a 5th pitch in the at-bat. The count remains nothing in 2. This is a lineup that has never played together before. Cermak gets his first start at third. Fenn has only started at short a number of times. Kretschmar and Clarkson on the right side of this infield are the only staples. The whole left side is not played together, along with this outfield configuration. That's ball 1. One and 2 the count to James Williams. And the lineup being deployed for no reason other than getting guys rest. 3 starters, Shell, Samuelson, and Grotto, all sitting. 1-2 pitch. Grounded to Kretschmar. And they'll have to surrender the run and take the out at first. It would have been a tough throw. It's 4-0 Barons on the RBI ground out by James Williams. It's his 4th RBI in 3 games. Here's Jalen Williams now. 1 for 3. And in the process, Jordan Williams is now at third with 2 outs. He can only score on a base hit. And the infield backs out. Moderer, strike 1. So we mentioned the Blues have won their last 2 games different ways. They trail 4-0 and will be heading into the bottom of the 8th. That breaking ball misses for ball 1. They'll have to do it in comeback fashion. Against a Barons bullpen that they've been able to get to in their last 2 victories against MLB Academy on the 23rd and 25th of this month. One pitch. Missing low, ball 2. Jordan Williams with good speed is at third. Drove in the 3rd run of this game. James Williams makes it 4-0 Barons. And here's a 2-1 pitch. Down the right field line and foul, it's 2-2. Count even. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, grounded. Cermak has it at third. Guns to first. That ends the inning. Side retired, but not before 2 more runs score. It's 4-0 Barons. They've doubled up the lead, and the Blues are up against it, entering the bottom of the 8th. Bottom 8 coming up, and it'll be the bottom of the Blues lineup. Trimble, Trinka, and Armstrong set to lead things off. They'll be facing Dennis Stevenson, who we documented earlier. They got to for 4 runs on 5 hits the last time they saw him in Compton. We'll see if he's able to avenge that and shut him down in the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-0 Barons. We're going to take a short break and be right back with you. Thanks for hanging out and making Blues baseball part of your Saturday afternoon. Stevenson deals to Trimble, leading off the bottom of the 8th. Popped up, and the infield will have a look. It's drifting, and it's out of play. It's on top of the opposing dugout, and it's strike one. Trimble, one of 2 Blues to have a base hit. It's him and Clarkson with the only singles. 0-1 pitch from Stevenson. Base is empty, and that is missing for ball 1. Blues have had 8 innings in which they've scored 2 or more runs against MLB Academy. They are being shut out in the bottom of the 8th. That's grounded foul to the right side. Part of the reason, not only they're getting shut out, but they're swinging early in the count. They're missing on pitches. And they've had no base runners. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Getting away, and it's even at 2-2. Trimble with the average at 174. 3 of his 4 RBIs have been go-ahead runs to win ball games. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball is hit to second. Malbrough in shallow right. The throw gets away. Trimble is going to be safe at first on an E4, and that was a very errant throw. Blues catch a break, and they get a base runner here via an error on Nicholas Malbrough. E4 allows Trimble to reach. He's safe at first. Blues get a leadoff base runner on a gift. E4. It's the second time Trimble has reached. He's the only Blue that's reached twice now. Here's Trinka. Throw over to first. Checks on Trimble. The Blues have to take advantage of this now. You want to see if that error comes back to bite them. We saw one committed by Cermak in the last half inning. Here's the first pitch. Stevenson to Trinka. Ball 1. 1-0 the count to Trinka. 0 for 2 today. Trimble safe at first after reaching on an error. It's 4-0 Barons, and we're in the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 pitch. Hit to Brown at short. He'll take the out at second, and that's the only one they'll get, but they get the leadoff out. And there's 1 out now. And Trinka and Trimble trade places at first with now 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Mark Armstrong. Armstrong stands in with Trinka now at first, and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Stevenson to the plate. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Starting Armstrong out with off speed. Marker chokes up on that bat, even without 2 strikes. Here's the 0-1. Stevenson takes a deep breath and deals, and that's fouled off the catcher's mask. Webb, that is. It's 0-2. Well, Blues are going to need to rally. It has to start here as well. You're down 4-0. You get a man on via a gift, an error. Then Trinka almost grounds into a double play. They get the out at second. He's safe at first now. Here's Mark Armstrong. If the bottom of this lineup can set the table for the top, who knows what could happen. But right now it's 4-0. And Armstrong's down 0-2 in the count. Ball 1. Again, 6th appearance for Stevenson. Blues have seen him once, and the one time they saw him, it was the only time that Stevenson's really had a bad outing. 1-2. Hit out to right. And beyond the reach of Malbrough, it's a base hit for Armstrong, and there's runners on first and second with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. You get your 8-hitter to come through, and here's Nick Costello, 0 for 2 today.
made Blues baseball possible on the Central Coast.
Conversation between Webb and Stevenson taking place now. So the only time that Stevenson had given up an earned run prior to the July 25th appearance against the Blues was on the 20th against the Saints. He gave up 1 earned run on 3 hits. He wasn't bad at all. Prior to that, he hadn't given up any in his previous 3 outings. He joined the Barons late, first game, making an appearance on July 8th. Has only been with the team for 3 weeks, and his only bad outing is against this team. They're trotting him back out there, and they're expecting him to get 6 outs, possibly more, unless the Blues rally. Here's Costello with men on first and second. It's 4-0 Barons in the bottom of the 8th. There's just 1 out. Stevenson checks second twice and deals. Ball 1. Stringing together anything. You reach on an air, you reach on a fielder's choice, then you get a single to right. 4-0 Barons. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Nick Costello, getting the start in center. Taking ball 2, patient at bats here. That's already been the difference. Two balls and no strikes.
So good. So good.
Armstrong at first and Trinket at second. Stevenson's 2-0. In there for a strike. Two balls and 1 strike to Nick Costello. Stevenson pitching out to deep breath and deals. Ball 3 outside. Webb tried to frame that one for him, and Costello is ahead in the count. He has not swung at a pitch. It's 3-1 now. Just 1 gone in the bottom of the 8th. Again, it's 4-0 Barons. Three balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Fouled back and out of play. The count has been worked full. It's 3-2 now. It's game 40 second to last regular season matchup. It's the 5th game between the Blues and Barons. The Blues have won the previous 4 convincingly. Pitch. Ball 4. And Stevenson looked in and thought he might have gotten him looking. And we're going to be seeing a meeting on the mound. The bases are loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th for Ryan Fenn. So Nick Costello has a terrific at-bat, sees 6 pitches, works the count full, and works a walk to load the bases. It's now Trinket at third, Armstrong at second, and Costello at first. Ryan Fenn, who's 0 for 3 today, has actually had, again, Fenn comes in and he's productive, maybe not with the bat, but defensively. And he comes in, he's the best at laying down a bunt on the team. The bases are loaded here. Not necessarily asking him to do that. He just went over and had a conversation with Bob Miller down the left field line. And whatever message was discussed, it was relayed. And, well, Fenn's the tying run. He's at the plate. Bases are loaded with just 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Stevenson's pitching with his team ahead 4-0. And Fenn takes strike 1. Biggest at-bat of the game for the Blues. There's no question about it. We've come to it. Bottom 8, 1 gone. They have finally gotten back-to-back men to reach. That misses for ball 1, a breaking ball that got away. So it's the first time in this bottom of the 8th that, well, now 4 consecutive men have reached. In the process, there's been 1 out, a forced out at second. It's the first time they've strung together anyone. Back-to-back men reaching. First time all day. 1-1 pitch. Fenn checked the swing and took ball 2 on a curve ball. That seems to be Stevenson's go-to pitch right now. Blues trying for a 1-out rally down 4. 2-1 pitch. Flown out to left. And Jordan Williams is under it. He makes the play. Tagging and scoring is Trinka. It's 4-1. Sack fly and an RBI for Ryan Fenn. The Blues have broken through, and it's 4-1. It's Fenn's first RBI against the Barons and his fourth this season. There's runners now on first and second with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. And we'll see if the day is done for Dennis Stevenson. It is indeed. The Barons are calling to the bullpen for one more out in this half inning. It's the bottom of the 8th. There's 2 outs, and it's now 4-1. The Barons lead, and we'll introduce you to their new relief pitcher when we come back. Blues are still bringing the tying run to the plate. That's why the crowd's excited. That's why I'm excited. And that's why I couldn't be happier to welcome you to Blues Baseball on the Blues Streaming Network. It's just been a lot of fun this entire summer and been fun having you along for the ride. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back with you. Thanks for hanging out. As always, it's been an honor. Yeah, it's Kretschmar's turn to bat. He's the tying run. He's at the plate. Runners on first and second for the Blues. It's Christian Johnson dealing. Ball 1. Johnson, a sophomore at Cowley County City College. Hometown of Raytown, Missouri, and an ERA of 4.26. It's his 7th appearance and his second against the Blues. 1-0. Kretschmar grounds one to Malbrough. Takes a hop on him, guns to first. Inning over. It's 4-1. Still.
Blues pick up 1, and score is now Barons 4, San Francisco 1, and we move to the top of the 9th inning. Don't forget, folks, the
Top of the 9th coming up. Blues will have to rally from a 3-run deficit if Von Moderer is able to keep it at 4-1. Christian Johnson comes in, throws a couple pitches, and gets a key out. Runners on first and second stranded. It remains 4-1. And Christian Webb, the man that's done the damage, the majority at least for the Barons in this one, will be due up facing Von Moderer in the top of the 9th when we come back. 4-1 our score in favor of the Barons. It's game 41. It's the second to last of the Blues season. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you. Thanks for hanging out, as always. Christian Webb, as promised, leading off the top of the ninth for the Barons. 2 for 3 with a single and a 2-run homer, facing Moderer for the second time today. Swinging and missing through strike 1. Barons led 2-0 after that 2-run bomb in the top of the 4th. Oh, on the count. Moderer deals. 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. That's strike 2. So Moderer, as assumed he would come in and eat up innings out of the pen. That's what you get with a guy who started 4 games early for you, falls out of the rotation, not for lack of performance. As this one is hit to Kretschmar at second, takes a hop on him, gunning to first, and there's 1 out. But for the simple fact that you had guys emerge as great starters, namely Kyle Wish, who was coming out of the pen. Him and Miller Plyman were kind of the 2 guys out of the pen that were shutting things down. You start Wish, and he's been great in his starts. So you move Moderer to the pen, and now you get a guy who had 4 starts under his belt come in and give you 4 relief appearances in which you can just eat up innings. And unfortunately has not pitched scoreless ones. Gave up 2 in the last half, but nonetheless giving this bullpen some rest. Here's Julian Boyd, who just took ball 1. Bases empty and 1 out for him. We're in the top of the 9th. It's 4-1 Barons. Bounced, and it's 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. The count to Boyd, who is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Fouled back, and it's 2-1. Boyd coming into today had not walked a single time against the Blues. If anything, he homered. That was his big hit. His 3rd of the season coming the last time these 2 teams met in Compton. That was off of Kevin Lyons. Swung on and missed, and it's 2-2. The Blues hard. I mean, for the last place team in the South, they come in and give everything they've got. Blues put together a lineup. Boyd flared out to right center. That's going to drop for a base hit, and he's aboard with his first hit. It's a single, and he's the first. Blues throw together a lineup that has guys playing defensive positions they haven't all year, guys hitting in the lineup where they haven't all year, and they've only put together 1 run. Pitching staff has bent, but not broken. It's only 4-1. And interestingly enough, back on the 22nd, that was the final between these 2 teams here at Sinsheimer Park. 4-1, but in favor of the Blues. Moderer delivers strike 1 to now Noel Soto, who is 1 for 3 with a double. Last time we saw Soto here at Sinsheimer Park, he was pitching. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. 0-2. Change up in there, and he's ahead. Moderer falls down on the mound. And there's 1 gone in the top of the 9th. Boyd aboard with a single, and Noel Soto in an 0-2 count. Moderer trying to keep the deficit, and just 3 runs for the Blues. Outside, ball 1, pitching his 4th inning of relief. And we saw this in a winning effort. Heston Toll go through 5, and then his teammate at Arkansas, Miller Plyman, come in and get a 12-out save. Obviously not a save opportunity as the Blues have trailed the entire game. 1-2 pitch missing for ball 2. But still, with wins not being the priority, you rest guys, you hope for some victories, get ready for the playoffs. They start Wednesday. 2-2 pitch. Boyd taking off for second. That's flared out to right. It drops for a base hit. And Boyd is safe at second. And now Soto is as well with a single, his 2nd hit. Back-to-back singles have men on 1st and 2nd now for Cordell Brown. Still 4-1 Barons. It's Boyd at second and Soto at first. Moderer checks second. And the pitch. Flared out to right center. That's hanging in the air. And caught by Costello. Gunning to third. Throw on a rope. Just not on target. It had the air distance. Could not gun Boyd down at third. He advances 90 feet. It's allowed second out. And there's men on first and third now with 2 outs for Ronnie Belton. Oh, they're saying he didn't tag. They're saying Julian Boyd did not tag and that he was running before the ball was caught. They tag third base, and he is out. The inning is over. We have seen costly base running mistakes by the Barons. It hasn't come back to bite them. They lead by 3, but 2 guys have been picked off, and now Boyd is out. Technically at second, as he did not tag. Out at third. It's the heart of the Blues lineup coming to the plate, down 3 in the bottom of the 9th, trying to get their 26th victory in 41 games. Trying to win out and get ready for the playoffs. Trail by 3. They'll have to do it in comeback fashion. It'll be Christian Johnson set to shut things down for the Barons, trying to get them their 7th win this season. I'm going to take a short break, and I'll be right back with you for the home half of the 9th. Final 3 outs. When we come back, thanks for hanging out, as always. Bottom of the 9th. Cermak leads things off. It goes Cermak, Clarkson, and Martinez. The 3, 4, and 5 heavy hitters for the Blues facing Christian Johnson. Cermak showed bunt, pulled away, took ball 1. They'll have to do it in comeback fashion, down 3. And they've done it before, not by this much. They've done it down 1 in the bottom of the 9th. Flared out to left. Will that stay fair? Oh, it just trips foul, and it would have been extra bases. 1-1. Gosh, Cermak's gotten behind some. He's gotten under him. Just missing a double there. Just missing. That thing hung up in the air a little too long. And instead of a double, it's strike 1. And the count is even. Still no one on and no one out. We're in the bottom of the 9th, and it's 4-1 Barons. Going for another one, and instead it's strike 2. Christian Johnson looking for 3 more outs. 1-2 pitch. Popped him up. Infield will have a look. Brown calling for it and makes the play. 1 gone. Here's TJ Clarkson. 1 for 3. Has one of the 3 Blues hits. Blues finally strung together hits and getting base runners for the first time in the bottom of the 8th. That swung on and missed for strike 1. They were only able to get 1 run out of it. That was a sac fly and an RBI from Ryan Fenn. Again, it's a lineup that's never been thrown together before. It's the first time we've seen this one, especially with guys not only hitting in the order, but playing different defensive positions. That's cut on and missed. It's 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Just made contact with that one. He has swung at all three, and he has only seen strikes. It's 0-2 now to TJ Clarkson. Bases empty with one man out. It's 4-1 Barons. Ball one. Swung on and missed, strike three. Last chance for the Blues is Vince Martinez.
Batting for the Blues, number 4, the designated hitter from Stanford, Vince Martinez.
0-for-3 today. Standing in. He is the last chance. 2 outs, bottom 9. 4-1 Barons. Ball one to the plate. Christian Johnson has not allowed a man to reach. In his short 3-out performance back on the 22nd here at Sinsheimer Park, he only gave up 1 hit. Martinez trying for a big fly, and it's 1-1. The ERA for Johnson at 4.26, but he hasn't given up a run in almost a month. His last 4 times out, he's only given up 1 hit. He's been lock solid. Foul tipped, and it's 1-2. For the Blues, trotting a new lineup out there. He clinched yesterday. If they're unable to come back in this one, you look for a victory heading in to your playoff run. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Martinez. Christian Johnson looking for a 4-out save. Hit into left, and that's a single. Base hit for Martinez. Not over yet. Bringing Justin Trimble to the plate. He knows something about hitting walk-offs. Can't hit one now. Blues are down 3. But Trimble has reached twice on a single and an error. First pitch swinging and strike 1. Nothing in 1 the count to Trimble. Strike 2. So for Johnson, that single given up to Martinez, that's just the second hit he's given up this month. He's made 4 appearances. 0-2 the count to Justin Trimble, and the Blues are down to their final strike. Johnson to the plate. That swung on and missed. Strike 3. Throw over to first, and the game is over. Barons win 4-1. The Barons defeat the Blues for the first time this season. They snap a 3-game losing streak. They snap a 4-game losing streak against the Blues. And this time, they come to Sinsheimer Park, and they win 4-1. Script flipped as the Barons win their 7th game this season and their 5th in July. 4-1 the final. Stay tuned for the post-game show. Blues Live will have an intern interview as we wrap things up here on the Blues Streaming Network. Can't thank you enough for hanging out with us through this one and bearing with us through the early Wi-Fi issues. We got that sorted out with you. We gave you a couple in-game interviews. We gave you Adam Stowe for an inning. We gave you Data Applegarth for an inning. Hope you enjoyed that. But the Blues fall by the score of 4-1, and they'll be back tomorrow. 1:05 first pitch against this same Barons team. It'll be the 6th and final meeting between the two teams. It'll be the 42nd and final game of the Blues regular season. For everyone here in the press box, I'm Zach Ebrahim saying so long. Stay tuned for the post-game show. Blues Live will have an intern interview for you. 4-1 the final. Barons win. I'll be back with you in a moment. Back on the post-game show, Blues Live. Unfortunately, a loss to the Barons in the second to last game of the season. But we get to do an intern interview, and we saved the best for last because you know this guy, you know him well because you've heard his voice on our broadcast multiple times. It's Colin Ryan, one of our many versatile promotional interns, and you really showed off the versatility today, Colin, because you worked merchandise for our guy Brendan Fisher.
Little bit.
Who, I mean, you had never done that before. So just tell me real quick about what working merch was like. It's a good crowd on hand as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to be like in charge of my own thing because promotional, I just rotate around. I got a walkie-talkie today. I haven't got one of those yet.
Okay.
So that was kind of nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just cool. It was like I had my own setup. I had all my boxes. I had like, it was just like mine I was in charge, you know?
Yes.
And that was cool.
Your
and
own canopy, all that
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah. And then just talking to everyone that comes by, you know, answering questions. Some people just want to talk about baseball. So it's fun. It's fun.
Definitely. No, Brendan likes it too, and glad you were able to fill in for him. So we've had a great season. The team, the interns, just all around, it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you pinpoint a moment where you kind of said, okay, that's what this whole summer's about. This was a night that, you know, I'll never forget, whether it was here at the field, whether it was something we did off the field. What's a moment for you that'll stick out from your 2021 summer?
Well, every day I drive here, and in the car I just start playing music. I get amped up because I know it's gonna be a great time every day.
You play the same songs every time?
No, I got a new one every day, and I just put it on repeat all the way to the stadium.
Okay.
So yeah, today was Loud and Heavy.
Nice.
So that's a good song. But yeah, no, probably my favorite moment was last week when we went to the fair. You know?
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, I love coming here and everything, but like I think of all you guys as like my friends, and so just being able to hang out with you guys like outside of that, it was awesome.
It was a very quick turn from coworkers to friends.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like it within the first week.
Literally within the first week,
Yeah.
It was like coworkers. Like that just sounds.
Yeah, it was like
no.
20 new friends.
It's 20 new friends, and we went to the Mid-State Fair last week. It was a lot of fun. Party bus, everyone had a good time. Even though we all split up, we all did our own thing. It was a lot of fun. We'll ask you something that's specific to you, and that's because it's one of the things that stuck out right away in terms of us, you know, moving from coworkers to friends, and that's when you go around and you give everyone pregame nucks. You know, go around and I was talking to Brendan about it when we did his interview, and genuinely like didn't even know you that well, but I saw it loosened everyone up. It was just something that I know you had probably been doing with Dana and Adam because you knew them before. Yeah. But with all of us too, I'm not going to sit here and think that it's something that you purposefully were like, I'm going to go around and this is going to become a trend. No. This is going to become a tradition. But pregame nucks has really kind of taken on its own form here. And it feels weird if you walk by someone and you don't give them the knuckles just to get them ready, right?
Yeah. No, I definitely didn't plan it. I remember just the first game. I remember seeing Dana and Melissa, and they were just like really stressed out, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, put out the knuckles. I was like, hey, just put it here, breathe in, breathe out. Like, we're good. Let's go. And then just later that day, Dana came up to me. She's like, we should do that every day. I was like, all right. So then I just started doing it with everyone every day. And I mean, it's just something like, it's just quick, like just run by, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like it's not, you know, it doesn't take any time. Just every day I try to go around, give pregame nucks to everybody. And it's just been, I mean, I didn't really think anything of it when I first did it.
Trust me,
and now it's just kind of taken on a life of its own.
We have shirts.
We have shirts.
We have shirts.
They're in my trunk, and they will be delivered today.
I can't wait to see these shirts, man. I'm going to rock it tomorrow on our last game. No, I think this whole summer, it kind of personifies what we go through, where it's like we don't think much of, like, you know, we've done 26 of these.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Like,
no, it goes by quick.
I remember when Adam would tell us about the game on the 3rd, he's like, that's going to be our biggest crowd. And I'm thinking, okay, the rest are going to be whatever. These crowds have continued to be incredible. Mm-hmm. The team has continued to play really well. They're going to go to the playoffs. Like everything is falling into place except for it ending because I know I don't want it to end. Yeah. But, you know, we'll move on. But it's a summer we'll never forget. I know you agree with that.
I mean, it's just crazy, like how, if you think about it, like if I didn't know Adam before this, I might have not have done this. If I went to a different school, like I wouldn't have done this. And then like just everything works out, you know?
Yeah.
Like this was an awesome summer. I would love to come back next year. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad we did it.
I am too. Last thing I just want to touch on is just wanted to basically just say thank you for just being an all-around great guy.
Appreciate it.
It's easy to do a good job at work when you're surrounded by people that are just genuinely good people.
Yeah,
and
I think everyone here is.
Everyone is.
Great.
Everyone is.
So-
But just you specifically, you just come around, you do the knuckles. I remember seeing you in the office, and yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun and just an honor and a privilege getting to know you as a guy.
Me
And
too.
thanks for coming on the air with me. We hope
Absolutely.
to have you on the air tomorrow.
I'd love to.
We'll have Colin Ryan on the call for a couple innings. He'll get back into his analyst role. He'll get psyched up for it. But a lot on Colin. Every time I'm watching the Angels, I'm going to think of you and our director of press box operations, Ed and Sonny.
Yep.
The Halo fans here that give me my crap for loving Dodger Blue. But it's been a lot of fun. So last thing I'll say is thank you, and I need my shirt. I really.
I will get those shirts in 20 minutes.
We're gonna clean up around here. We'll
Yeah.
exit everyone out of here, and we'll go get our pre Nuck shirts. And final game tomorrow. Colin will join us. We'll probably do some crazy stuff on the air. I don't even know. Last regular
I'm ready
season
for
game.
whatever.
That game better not be a blowout because I will pull out some things that we haven't done all season.
There you go.
And it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you to
There you
everyone
go.
for joining us the entire season. Thank you to Colin Ryan joining us on the intern interview. Last game tomorrow, buddy.
Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it has been. We'll see you then.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.